People often think reincarnation will become strong and lucky people. But with this Makoto guy, it's the exact opposite. He was originally a talented archer, often joining the school's archery club. Makoto's parents are actually from another world, so the goddess of the world wants Makoto to become a hero. Soon after, the god Tsuku brought Makoto to meet the goddess of that world. But as soon as she saw Makoto, the goddess suddenly shouted because he was too ugly. She cursed him for not understanding human language but only monster language. Before Makoto fell to the ground, fortunately, the god Tsuku appeared in time to save him. Knowing that the goddess refused to accept Makoto, Tsuku gave him the strength to survive in the new world. Tsuku dropped Makoto at the edge of the world. Makoto had wandered at the edge of the world for 3 days without seeing a single living thing. But he doesn't need to eat to survive because the god Tsuku has given him an extraordinary physique. Makoto suddenly saw a girl being attacked by a two-headed wolf and he immediately destroyed the wolf to save the girl. After regaining her composure, the girl announced that she was on her way to pay tribute to the dragon god at this place. Because her village would have to submit a young girl every month to the dragon god. Emma takes Makoto back to the village to repay the favor with a meal. Seeing that Emma can use magic, Makoto asked her to teach him magic. Soon after, Makoto leaves a letter for Emma and runs off to slay the dragon god to save the village. Makoto uses a fire bow to break through the gate of the dragon shrine. But when he ran closer, he only saw a bunch of yokai lying on the ground, because they were impersonating the dragon god to deceive the people. However, the divine dragon created a layer of mist that slowly appeared. The divine dragon attacked Makoto with powerful attacks, but Makoto easily dodged those attacks. Makoto creates fireballs and lets them attack. The dragon god was very angry. Imprisoned Makoto in his illusionary space. While in the illusion, Makoto was confessed to by his clubmate. However, Makoto suddenly recalled that he had rejected her confession. So he discovered that this was just an illusion. Makoto breaks through the illusory space of the dragon. After witnessing Makoto's immense power and begging to be adopted by Makoto because it cares so much about his memory. After making a contract with Makoto, the dragon transforms into a very beautiful female samurai named Tomo. Tomo said she has the ability to create a fictional space to hide inside. After returning to the edge of the world, Makoto encounters Emma looking for him, but Emma is surprised to learn that the dragon god has now become Makoto's subordinate. That evening, the people of the village held a party to thank Makoto for his help. The next day, Makoto suddenly saw all the villagers gathered in front of Makoto. Tomo invites them all to live in his fictional space. Soon after, Tomo sent the entire village into space. After examining it, Makoto learned that he could use 5 attributes of magic at once. Tomo is busy researching samurai culture through Makoto's memories. When going out, Makoto suddenly sees 2 piglets who are having trouble building a house. Makoto drew his knife and cut down the tree to their amazement. Upon seeing an injured pig, Makoto used her power to heal it, but Makoto was unable to use that energy to heal herself. Soon after, Makoto panicked when he saw Tomo carrying an injured dwarf. And according to her words, he was attacked by a giant spider. Makoto then enhanced his sword with magic to cut off the spider's legs. But it was recovered easily. The spider approached and stabbed Makoto to death with its sharp fangs. Makoto gets very angry and creates a huge explosion. He used a water bow to blow it away, much to the surprise of Tomo and the dwarves. However, Makoto fainted from loss of blood after being bitten by a spider. As for the spider, it healed itself and quickly returned to Makoto's place. But it fell in love with Makoto after tasting his immense magical power. It also actively signed a contract to be with Makoto just like Tomo. When he woke up, Makoto saw a very beautiful girl sitting next to him. But he was surprised to learn that the girl sitting in front of him was the same spider just now. Soon after, the old dwarf named Burin went to Makoto to thank him for saving his life, and Burin asked Makoto to let the dwarves live in the fictional world. But Tomo asks him to make her a sword. Makoto then names the Spider-Man girl Mio. Makoto was surprised to see many new races in the fantasy space. Burin brought the village of dwarves living in fantasy space. And Mio brought forth a race that had a half-human and half-spider form. Later, Makoto finds a human town near the edge of the world. When Makoto reached the other town, dozens of adventurers appeared to attack Makoto. Makoto realized that he did not understand the language they were speaking. Makoto returns to the fictional space and cries. Makoto thought that maybe he was chased away by humans because of his ugly face. But people said that his huge amount of magic power was really spilled out, so when others looked at him, he would be seen as nothing more than an army of demon lords. Makoto is determined to learn the human language to speak with them. But after a month of studying, Makoto still can't speak human. So he decided to use the magic written in the air to be able to communicate. The dwarves created a ring that could absorb Makoto's excess magical power. Makoto and the two girls are ready to go to the human town. They pretended to be a group of merchants selling fruit in order to gain easy access to town. Everyone came to the hall to register as adventurers. The strongest adventurer in this town is level 400 and back. However, after checking, everyone was surprised to learn that Tomo's level was 1320 and Mio's level was over 1500. The group rented a room in town to spend the night. Makoto makes Tomo look after the car, while he and Mio go to dinner together. However, while they were walking, a girl named Rainon suddenly ran up to them to talk to them. Rainon says that she and her sister have been living in this town for a while. But her older sister often borrowed money from the gangsters in the town to spend, so the gang took her brother to work. Tomo suddenly sees a group of masked people plotting to steal their cart. She also captured a man to bring back for interrogation. However, Makoto scolds Tomo for being too cruel to the masked group. Soon after, Makoto and Tomo examine the masked man's memories. Makoto asks Tomo and Mio to rescue Rainon's sister. As it turns out, Rainon's younger sister has a very similar face to her schoolmate Makoto. Rainon's older sister is on the verge of death after being used by gangsters as a test subject for magic. But Tomo and Mio appeared in time and used healing magic to save her life. When they get out, they discover that the man behind the gang is the most powerful adventurer in town. Meanwhile, Makoto was on her way to the market when Rainon suddenly asks Makoto's permission to run into an alley with someone. Makoto used magic to eavesdrop on their conversation. It turned out that the gangsters were using Rainon to plot to rob the delivery truck. The man in red ordered all his subordinates to come and block Tomo and Mio's way. One of them immediately realized that the two of them were above level 1000. The redhead thought they had faked their levels to show off. Angry, Tomo and Mio rushed to punch him. But he blocked their attack with a shield. However, Tomo suddenly became angry and blew away the shield along with his subordinates. Soon after, Tomo brought his older sister, Toa, back. Makoto was furious to see the whole town destroyed by his subordinates. Tomo altered people's memories to trick them into believing that the town near the edge of the world was destroyed by a horde of monsters. The registration information of the Makoto group has not been updated yet. The town has disappeared, so they will have to go to the next city to register again. During the journey together, everyone had very happy memories. However, when approaching the city of Shige, people encounter a swarm of bees. After defeating the bees, Makoto and the others collect their parts. Upon arriving in Shige City, Makoto takes on the task of delivering bees to a company. Makoto and Toa make friends with an adventurer card because this adventurer card allows friends to call and read each other's stats. That evening, Toa's team invites Makoto to a celebratory meal after selling bee parts. Makoto made a few friends here. The next morning, Makoto and Mio return to the fictional space to visit the tribes. They are growing more agricultural products as well as constructing new buildings. The dwarves forged some of the finest armor in the world. Makoto likes a cloth shirt because he plans to become a merchant. But Makoto's enormous magic power quickly caused this shirt to tear. Soon after, Makoto went to Rem Company to go on a mission. Master Patrick thinks he's trying to get close to someone as rich as he is because he doesn't trust a bottom-of-the-line adventurer. However, Makoto gave Ruby's 2 eyes, which Patrick immediately apologized to. He is in need of this eye as an antidote for his wife and 2 daughters. After that, Makoto went to the Merchant Guild to register as a merchant. To become a merchant, Makoto would have to pass 2 tests of the Merchant Guild. When he looked at one of the association's exam preparation materials, he was surprised that their exam papers were filled with basic calculations. He finished the exam in half the time, to the surprise of the examiner. After completing the theory test, Makoto will have to draw lots to complete the practical exam. His mission is to find a pile of rare materials from monsters in 3 days. But Makoto gave him even rarer items, so the warden had to let him complete the test. Meanwhile, Tomo is still trying to kill monsters to level up. She hunted a giant crab and brought it back to the fairy space to cook for everyone. While eating crab, Tomo heard that Mio had just entered Makoto's memory. Mio only helps Emma to record information about technology on Earth through Makoto's memories. Makoto is back now. Makoto is planning to build a city outside of space fiction, and he intends to sell goods. That night, the 3 of them return to their inn in Shige City to spend the night. The 2 girls plan to seduce Makoto. But Makoto doesn't seem to care because he is busy texting Hazal to make medicine for Patrick's wife and children. The next morning, Makoto and Hazal made an appointment to go to Patrick's company to make medicine. An adventurer named Lam was worried when he learned that Makoto could save Patrick's wife and children.